Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of StarCraft Inc. This one's a good one. We've got SSNSmashKAB versus CAM-BAM. CAM-BAM spawning as the blue Zerg on the left side of Antigua Shipyards, and SmashKAB spawning as the red Terran on the bottom sort of right. This general bottom right corner here. This space. It's his. All of it. Yep. Anyway. CAM-BAM, not really somebody you have to know about. This is just the top of Master League. And he's just a player. We don't know who he is. Met him on the ladder. Just a dude. And this is that ladder match, okay? Just so you guys know. This is not a custom game or anything weird like that. SmashKAB, however, is one of the original 4 members of the SSN clan. If you guys don't know who they are, you clearly haven't been on the channel long enough, you haven't watched enough of our videos. Go back and check out some of the SSN videos. All the SSN players except for myself are top of Masters, and one of our members, SSNSmashKAB, is likely going to be Grandmasters next season if he gets his shit together. He just never plays the North American ladder because he every time he's on the North American ladder he just goofs around, so he just stays in top Masters, and it makes me sad. He only takes the Korean ladder seriously. So anyway, SmashKAB, top of Masters, and really phenomenal Terran player. I don't know really what else to tell you. He is a Canadian player for those of you who get excited about nationality, but a lot of Americans, some Americans like Canada, that's what I'm going to call it, Canada, and some Americans, think we're kind of silly. But that's okay. Canada rocks, and we are your hat, your little hat to protect you from the cold up north. But it's okay. You guys can say what you like. Anyway, CAM-BAM taking that regular expansion that Zerg always do. Taking a sip of my cola. And SmashKAB, his TVZ style has really translated through the last little bit. Look at this, almost getting away with that drone. Anyway, his TVZ style has really changed a lot in the last few months, and it's changed several times. I know originally he used to play a very Zerg-style macro game where he would expand at the same time the Zerg did. It was a really risky expand, and he'd throw all his production facilities right there instead of at his first ramp. Kind of like a Forge Fast expand style for Protoss, if you want a little bit of a translation. And then he would take a third right away too, and he'd go Mass Marine, and he would try to outproduce his opponent even if his opponent used Banelings, and he would just use Marine splits to cost effectively deal with them, and just spit out nothing but Marines, and kind of force his opponent into going into like a mass anti-Marine style, and then right when that would happen he would switch his tech really fast, because he would have 3 orbitals at the time that his opponent had 2 hatcheries, because he would always be able to take out the Zerg's third. And so it was really interesting play style, really aggressive, but that's not what's happening here. We are seeing that factory, we're seeing command center. Hold on, Jesus Christ, Matt. Oh, we do have it. It sounds really loud to me right now. But anyway, we do have this command center going up, and we do have the factory. And what that's going to look like probably is Hellions. That's my guess. It is on a reactor, so yes. Hellions are probably the game plan here, and that command center will follow up some sort of early harass from those Hellions. I don't think that was scouted. I'm going to take a look here. From CAM-BAM, did he see the reactor? No, he's not spotted any kind of reactor play, but I think it's just assumed. And we are double expanding. SmashKAB taking 2 command centers right off the gate. Marines patrolling the base just to deny that Overlord that likes to float in. E for everyone gives us view of an Overlord that is chilling right here. And we will see 2 Hellions cross the map and go check the tower. Tag. And one Ling just kind of running in here to see what it can see, and misses the second wave of Hellions. The first 2 sit outside the base, ready and waiting. And as you can see, there's 2 spines and a queen chilling right here, but absolutely nothing up here. If those 2 Hellions get past the first little checkpoint of defense, which they very easily can, he could easily get up into the main and do a lot of damage. SmashKAB checking for a third, and really kind of watching out for any kind of ambush of Lings, but there isn't any. And there's another spine crawler going down at this base here for the Zerg player. A little bit of an overreaction, a little bit of misplace of that spine crawler. I mean, those Hellions can easily get by, but SmashKAB doesn't really care. He's got these 2 expansions, and that's his plan. This orbital being used strictly for mules, it seems, and a single Ling down there. SmashKAB going to deal with that with simply his SCVs, and away he goes. It looks like our Zerg player spit out a crap ton of Lings in fear of some kind of one-base push, because SmashKAB didn't expand right away to the Zerg's knowledge. And now that SmashKAB has expanded, it's going to be a little bit awkward for the Zerg, seeing as how he's really kind of overreacted. He's got 3 spines, he spit out way too many Lings, and on the 8-minute mark, almost the 9-minute mark, he's only on 2 bases, and sacrificed some drones here. Getting that Baneling Nest, getting an Evolution Chamber, really kind of worrying about a push, but SmashKAB has no units whatsoever. The Zerg player is dropping that Spire, and will probably be ready to put on some harass for SmashKAB. SmashKAB going with what looks like a pretty solid bio play, despite the Baneling Nest that he doesn't know about, and we'll see how that plays out for him. He is getting a he's got siege tanks. Siege tech is finished, and well, it looks like we're getting weapons 1 for his infantry. So, kind of playing out into this game, very macro intensive from the Terran player. Look at the oh my god, this macro command center is so good. Very clever playstyle, I think. And kind of I feel like every time SmashKAB plays against a Zerg player, he likes to mimic their macro style. And they do have 1 Hellion going down to a bunch of Lings, but it did spot the expansion, so that's important. And the other Hellions are right here back at home. And they're safe and sound, and nestled next to a bunker and some siege tanks. And I was yawning because I'm sleepy and it's the morning. I tend to cast in the mornings more than any other time of the day. I'm not really sure what inspires me to do that, but it tends to antagonize some yawns. And a lot of supply depots over here, a lot of missile turrets. Holy shit! But I mean, you got to do what you got to do if you're planning on moving out against the Zerg with Muta. It's kind of frustrating to try and leave your base because you just get swamped. And I mean, this macro expansion, this macro command center that was chilling here, that is now floating away as I try to look for it, helped him pay for these missile turrets. So it's not really a big deal that he paid for those, because the mule really helped him do it. Now these Muta are probably going to go for the 3rd. They're probably going to scout this. And I mean, well, the Ling already did, so the Muta doesn't even need to check. It knows it's there. It will go down here and find a very nice surprise of missile turrets, or just catch the army. Will it go for some tanks? They will one-shot. Oh no, that tank is free. The Muta do get the tank. 1 Muta goes down for 1 tank. Not really a clean trade. Trying to saturate this 3rd base, but we see that the Terran player has already got his 3rd up and running. The Terran player being our hero, SmashKAB. Of course we want him to win, right? Everybody wants the SSN player to win. I don't actually know if he does, to be honest. He sent me a replay pack last night over Skype. And I haven't watched any of them. This is the first one I've even looked at, so I hope he wins, but I honestly don't know. It's looking good for him so far, though. Our Zerg player is tearing apart these rocks up here. Going to be taking a 4th, and it's good to be active with your units like this. There's no reason to sit around if there's, you know, obstacles like this to break down. I mean, do it right away, do it first, so that when you have that split-second opportunity to take an expansion, you can utilize it. Bunch of Marines stimming to take the tower, actually managing to kill a couple Lings and a Muta. And so I'd say that's a fair trade, seeing as how the Muta cost gas, and there were only 5 Marines, so about 250 minerals for, you know, 200 minerals worth of stuff and 100 gas. So I'd say that was pretty damn good. And a couple tanks sieging up. This is a little bit of a siege tank creep moving forward here, and that's really what Terran is about. About. That was like the most American about I've ever said. You guys can make fun of the Canadian about all you want, but we think you guys sound pretty silly too. Anyway, siege tanks slowly creeping forward. And yeah, this, like I said, this is what Terran is all about: taking that that small piece of land bit by bit and really holding it with the very defensive style units that Terran has, and just slowly creeping forward with that piece of land that they can maintain. The macro from SmashKAB is really paying off. He's building another command center, bunch of lings pulling forward. Not really many banelings considering that early baneling nest, and he's really going to need them, I feel. If the Zerg were to come from the north and push down here, it would be a good opportunity for him, as this is pretty open and undefended, and it would be really easy to flank SmashKAB through that direction. SmashKAB breaking down the rocks, and of course the Zerg player can see this due to the creep tumors, but trying to expose this base here. Problem is, all of his Marines are forward right now. If the banelings come smashing in, those Marines could be in some trouble. But it looks like there is a lot of DPS with the Marines here. They should be able to kill the banelings before they get too close. And I'm waiting for this Zerg attack, this force from the Zerg to push forward. It doesn't seem to be. Building way more banelings. He's got that baneling upgrade for speed, centrifugal hooks, and here it looks like this might be the push. Or it might go around top like I was talking about. Or it's just splitting up the lings and the banelings and the muta. Here we go! I don't know why he split it all up just to group it back up again. SmashKAB wasn't really watching and lost a few Marines, but pulled most of them back in time. So very good micro there from SmashKAB, just pulling them back through the net of tanks. The muta coming in and getting one free tank. But those muta do manage to get away. SmashKAB really needs to do something about the muta count. All these Marines here trying to snipe a hatchery, lots of lings coming in to reinforce, siege tanks trying to support the Marines, but ultimately these muta are becoming scary. The Marine count is dwindling, and the production for SmashKAB is not really supporting the Marine count as much as it is the mech count. So a couple Vikings coming out for SmashKAB, but he really needs more Marines as well. More barracks production would be important for him. He's got a whole bunch at his third. This command center has not yet gone to the fourth. It is defended by a single ling, which is great play by the Zerg player. Very frustrating for SmashKAB. SmashKAB will attempt to take his gold, actually, instead of this base here, expanding towards his opponent, allowing him to defend it easier with the push. I mean, why expand away while you're pushing? Because then you'd have to retreat to defend it if it gets flanked. So, great expand style here. The Marines are tearing apart those muta. The Vikings supporting the medevacs, helping the Marines stay alive. Another big wave of banelings coming out right here, canceling a few lings to kill time. Excellent play by the Zerg. The Marines trying to get on top of those banelings. They've got to run now. Those banelings are going to hatch any second, and all the Marines go down to the banelings. Can they get away? No. One Marine gets away with his life, watching his buddies turn into like a fine, thin green paint. And, oh my god. So the Zerg did lose this base, but if you see, he's expanding northward. He's got 4 bases still. Not saturated at that one, and barely saturated at this one. So I feel like the Zerg player is going to have trouble keeping up economically. As you can see, he's only sitting at 600 minerals, 400 gas. To the Terran players, like 1,000 in each bank. And I mean, you might want to say that, oh, well, he's not spending his money. But it's because he's ahead and he's maxed. He can't spend his money. He could drop more production for sure, and really go take that base. I don't even know. Oh, there it is. It's up here. Never mind. He took this one. I forgot. Bunch of Marines getting ahead of themselves and almost getting annihilated by banelings. Instead, the siege tanks killed them for the banelings, and but they do kill the banelings, allowing this to be quite the cost-effective venture for SmashKAB. He's going to come in here and finally snipe all these spine crawlers that have been here since the start of the game, picking off all the drones that are long-distance mining that will cut into the economy of our Zerg player. And I'm not sure why the Zerg player didn't run those drones up here sooner. Bunch of Lings coming down, but they're by themselves and they are rallied. They will die to a small group of Marines that will come up here and annihilate this base. All they have to do is focus fire the hatch. They don't even have to kill these spine crawlers, but they will anyway because we're cool like that. G.I. Joe. And gonna snipe all these muted GG from Cambam. And I believe that this was a good solid game from SmashKAB. Very nice siege tank creep, very nice macro, excellent double expand, and got away with it too. I really like that. So guys, I'm SSN Incarnum. I hope you enjoyed the playstyle from SmashKAB. And if you're a Zerg player, I'm sorry the Zerg player had to lose. He was playing an SSN player. What do you think? What do you expect? I just don't know what to tell you. I'm just joking. I don't always cast winning games from the SSN players. A lot of the time I do cast losing games, such as myself. Eurosmy has also given me a couple losses. Spite is afraid to give me replays, so the only time I get Spite replays is when I steal them. She played a couple games on my computer one time, and I was like, yes, and I grabbed them and I cast them. So, we'll see. Anyway, guys, I'm SSN Incarnum. You're watching StarCraft Inc. I was just stretching, not shitting, and I'll see you guys next time.